Welcome back to ESA Winter 22. This event, we're raising money for Alzheimer Funding. Links to donate can be found below the stream. We'd also like to thank our sponsors. Dermalogica Clear Start. Check out their line of products in the panel below the stream. ViewSonic Gaming for the monitors this event. Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch, a new Metroidvania game out now on the PC, PS4 and PS5. And Twitch. And now it's time for Rastats with Trackmania. Take it away.
Hello everyone, I'm Rastats and I will be your Trackmania runner for today. It's very nice to be here back on site for a speedrunning marathon. This will be my first on-site marathon on Trackmania, a really good racing game. We're going to be playing some community maps made by our dear community members. We have 50 maps in total. I had a look at about 2,000 of the most awarded Trackmania maps. So we have two separate campaigns and a lot of different mappers, a lot of different mapping styles. So we'll talk about all the aspects of the Trackmania community for about an hour. And I'd like to know what we are at for the skin incentive, the country skin incentive.
Absolutely. At $245, it is Sweden.
All right, so I had already picked Sweden as the car for today, and we're gonna be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! So first map is gonna be AO1 but done quick, a map made for my speedrun last month at AGDQ 2022. This is a remake of AO1 Race, the first track of Trackmania Nations Forever, the most popular Trackmania racing game released in 2008, and this was a free racing game. This is why it was super popular. And this is the first track of the solo campaign of Trackmania Nations Forever called AO1 Race. And we decided to add some custom scenery on this track, some video game related scenery. Last time I saved the animal and this time I'm gonna kill them. So sorry to our dear animals. So we have some references to all kinds of speedrunning games, and we're gonna finish this track right now. So this is an extension of the map after the portals. It was made by 6 lovely mappers, including myself. And we will switch now to Pandora by Neutron and also Guinea Pig, introducing Grass, another mapping style with reactors, a block that was added with Trackmania 2020. So this is the newest Trackmania game, released in July of 2020 and published by Ubisoft and Nadio. They've been publishing Trackmania games since 2003, and this is the main Trackmania game right now. You have free access, and then you have a standard access and a club access. And on Grass, you want to steer as minimally as possible, and you want to look for the gear indicator on the bottom right of my screen. So we have 5 different gears. We're going to stay in 5th gear for most of the track, but on other tracks we will see some gear management where you don't want to steer too much when you are shifting gears. Right there we also see a new block called the sausage block, and we're gonna have some risky and a safe finish. So this is common in Trackmania track for spectacle, and I just failed right there and I hit a rock because I was way too close to the mountain, and I'm gonna try to go for the risky finish in the ring on the left. There you go, very nice. Switching to another super popular mapping style. It's full speed with a purple by entry lag, and the main mechanic here will be the speed drift, which we will initiate at speeds of above 400 km per hour. So on a full speed map, hence you don't release, hence the name, and you try to get your skid marks close to each other like this in order to save to be faster than if you were driving in a straight line. So this is called the speed drift mechanic, and it's very difficult to master. You can save a ton of time on this. So these tracks are very easy to learn for beginners, but it's super hard to master with this speed drifting mechanic. So there you go, just doing my best at doing the speed drift as my commentator is joining me. So this is Cousin. It's going to be the Need for Speedrunner for this week, and we are doing all the speed drifts in the end, finishing at about 900 kilometers per hour. So the maximum speed in this game is 999 kilometers per hour. And we are now switching to Corrupted File made by Luoki. And this is a tech map, by far the most popular mapping style in Trackmania. So this is mostly road and then just some drift that are initiated by pressing the brake button. But this map has a twist. As you can see, the textures that I'm driving on are not the textures displayed on the map, so this makes for a very confusing map.
Yeah, in this track you really have to know it to, yeah, otherwise you're completely lost. And yeah, that's the power of custom blocks as well in this game, or custom items in general. You can remake very various stuff, including invisible road or on the opposite blocks that look solid but you just go through.
Exactly, so you have a basic map editor with about 500 blocks, and then you have some custom items that you can make with a 3D editor and other softwares. So you have people specialized in making custom items in the game, and we are now on a dirt track, so very similar to grass, and we want to stay on the outside of the road in order to steer as minimally as possible, and this is where shifting gears is going to be important, and you don't want to steer too much when you are shifting gears. So you have a different speed amounts to go from 4th gear to 5th gear or from 3rd to 4th gear. I'm going to release a bit right there on this nice dirt map made by Rockdown and Ripfish. And then we will head off to the finish of this map. So these are the common mapping style, and then we'll see some concept maps with some crazy ideas.
Yeah, the invisible block thing was only the beginning of
exactly.
the crazy thing.
You're gonna see some crazy maps. Moving on to Ice, a new surface introduced also with Trackmania 2020, and by far the most difficult surface in Trackmania, where you want to initiate some slides. So you turn to the left and then to the right in order to initiate a slide, and you can adjust the slide by releasing or pressing the brake button right there, and you can slide out just like so. So that was very unfortunate. I'm going to go for a second try on the slide, so this is super difficult to master.
Yeah, the gear changes as well are super tricky on ice. As you explained earlier, on ice it just becomes even worse, because if you have a gear change at the wrong time, you can completely lose your slide and go to Narnia, like it happened earlier in the run.
Exactly. And you know where you can go to Narnia? On Kaki map, for example. So these maps are some nearly impossible maps, and they are using all the mechanics in the game, including the ice slides. And I encourage watching some Kaki replays on YouTube, because it's insane stuff. They use all kinds of tricks that I can't show in the run. I will show some of them, but only a few. Yeah. And we are moving to the second concept map called Equality by Shorty. So we saw the major mapping style, and now we're going to see a map where you can drive it two ways, because you have two options at each checkpoint. So I will first go fully to the right, and then I will redo the map, but fully to the left. So we also have a nice slide right there. There you go, and we have time for first donation.
Absolutely, we have $15 from Clearwater. That reads, greetings from the Trackmania community. Always awesome to see the Zenny and as many amazing creations the amazing community can come up with. And it's awesome to see Trackmania represented at ESA. Bon chance Rasta, and don't bonk too many times.
I guess I just bonked, so thank you for jinxing me, Clearwater. So he's managing the Trackmania Discord community, so a really cool guy. Thank you very much for supporting all our speedrunning events in the Trackmania community. So there you go, we drove the map the first time, and then we're going to drive it a second time with different surfaces.
I think the greatest thing about this map is that I think out of the top 5 time in the world, like all 5 of them are using, between the top 5 they are using different routes on this map, so like there's not one way that is significantly faster than the others.
And
so,
exactly,
yeah.
And there's also a cut that was done by only one person, and the cut is at the very start. But of course I did not do it, as it is super lucky. It's like a khaki cut, as we call them. It's like a 1 in a million chance to get the cut. And now we're moving on to the sausage block, so it's just normal road, but it's elevated on the middle. And this makes for some difficult maps, and we're gonna have a full sausage map into the speedrun, but that's gonna be for later. And now we will switch to the 8th map of the speedrun. And 8th map of Trackmania campaigns are usually meme maps with a lot of tears. And so this is a map that we made especially for ESA with a Richarde, and there's going to be a lot of spin, so just enjoy the spectacles. And we have competitions organized on these kind of maps every 8th month of the year. There you go, some nice flips, and maybe I will get a perfect time. This seems really good. Come on, let's get maybe a sub 15, we'll see. Oh, yeah. That's a 15:13, that's a super good time, like insanely good. So I won the competition on this map last week, but I practiced before, and I knew the risky strat. There was a strat that was faster, but you couldn't like get it consistently. And now we move on to training maps. So in Trackmania 2020, you have a campaign of 25 training maps where you are introduced to the basic surfaces. And this is a Training 20 made by Nadio, where you discover all the basic surfaces in Trackmania.
Yeah, so you have pretty much everything that is in the game. Tech, sausage, ice and dirt. Maybe yeah, grass is missing a bit in this track, but...
I mean, training maps are very short, so it's difficult to put all the mapping style.
I think now this one is already one of the longest in the training mode.
I think it is. And now we're moving on to Ocalicious, and this is a super popular competitive map made back in 2008 for esports league. So one of the major competition at the time. And you have to know that in Trackmania, the biggest cash prize were in the years 2006 to 2008 with the release of Trackmania Nations and Trackmania Nations Forever. But in 2022, in Norway, in his hometown of Meløy, Erik Oldal, a Trackmania journalist, will be organizing the biggest Trackmania competition so far, with a streamer tournament, a pro player tournament, and a tournament for the local youth. So we are looking forward to that, and I hope the best for this tournament. I will try to be there in August. So just remember the date, it's going to be the biggest Trackmania event of the year.
So yeah, this map is slightly altered to the original because it was made in Trackmania Nations Forever, of course, since it's from 2008. And so this is a recreation, but of course many blocks have changed in this new game. Some even have disappeared. So with the community blocks you can recreate part of it, but yeah, some part of the map is still altered to the original one. So and yeah, the original one is still hunted to this day. There's still battles for the world record on this track, even 15 years later.
So for next map, it will be a NASCAR map, but I decided to drive the map the other way around, just for fun. This is not faster, it's just slightly slower than the normal way. But some people on NASCAR Cup of the Days, I will explain what Cup of the Days are later, but they decide to drive backward just for fun, so this is what we're gonna do. So NASCAR tracks are tracks where you don't want to press the brake button because you are going super fast, except that this is a mix between a NASCAR map and a regular tech map, so I will be braking in some corners. So this is a Kokomo Island Raceway made by Stoops Kissel and Stuntman, a duo of mappers. They made some amazing maps. So I recommend checking out their other maps on Trackmania Exchange, the leading website to share Trackmania maps. And I forgot to brake right there, so this is why I bonked into the wall. And I'm known as the bonk master in Trackmania, so I will do my best at not bonking too much, but we'll see.
And yeah, actually many tracks from this speedrun are from Cup of the Day, because they are competed on what's called the Track of the Day, which is a track picked by Nadio from the community every day, and that have this knockout cup at 7 PM European time every day. And yeah, it's great fun, and usually the track quality is pretty high, especially scenery-wise, even though they like to put grass full speed every other day.
And we are now introducing another surface to Trackmania 2020, released in the summer 2020 update, so 1 year after the initial release of the game. We have also the introduction of water, so this is a very slippery surface with some reactor boost down, so you have two different kinds of a reactor boost. The down block, it's like a magnetic block, and then the up, reactor boost up, where you just fly into the air, and which we will see in some other maps. And this map was made by Mime, a professional Trackmania player, and it's a complete full plastic, and then we have a safe and the risky way, so I'm going to go for the risky way with a jump. There you go, because for the safe way you would have to go through some slow motion blocks and you will lose a ton of time. And we're moving on to Lake Tahoe, a map made by Ocalicious, and this is part of a 10-map project where he decided to recreate some famous locations in the United States. So Lake Tahoe is located in California at the border with Nevada, if I remember correctly. And this is a super cool map with some very nice scenery. There's no not unique mechanics on this map, but I just picked it because of how well it looked. So very amazing stuff made by all the Trackmania mappers. Most of these maps you will see some custom items, but we will see one map with absolutely no custom item. It's a full vanilla map, and you will see that we can still make some amazing map with full vanilla blocks.
Yeah, because some of these insane scenery are often made on Blender, which is a software to do advanced 3D stuff, and you can actually convert it back to the game. So it just opens up the possibility even more way further than the editor.
Now switching to a Zerator map. So Zerator is one of the biggest Trackmania streamers, and in 2013 on Trackmania Stadium he decided to organize what I call the ZRT Cup with some very special maps. So this is a map from 2020 called Sakuro. So if Zerator is watching, hello from ESA. I hope you are enjoying the show. We're gonna go for the jump, hope that I don't bonk into the tree. We are fine, and then for the jump I'm gonna slow down because this seems tricky. I'm gonna try to go in the middle, not with a lot of speed, with another bonk, but we didn't lose that much time. And so ZRT Cup is one of the most popular Trackmania competition, and it was first organized online and then on site, but sadly it was not organized on site in 2020 and 2021. He was expecting to do it in Bercy, so one of the largest showroom, no, not showroom, but concert hall in France. And we are all looking forward to that in 2022, we hope. And now we're switching to LOL maps. So LOL maps are very popular. These are usually some very short maps with some nice ideas, and we'll be using the reactor boost up right there to fly into the air like an airplane with some Boeing 747 in the background. I'm going to try to get it first right. It is not as easy as it seems because reactor block can be kind of buggy and very difficult to control. So there you go, we're off to a good start on the map, and now with the final checkpoint, just avoiding all the airplanes.
Don't hit the ship.
The ship? It's some airplanes.
No, you have the ships with the parachutes.
Oh! Alright, now we're going underwater with a map by Vertigo, so sorry for pronunciation. I'm not really good at German names. And it's called Atlantis, so very, very cool map. And we are also using reactor booster down because else we would not go very fast underwater. So we'll try to not bonk on this one. It's very, very popular mapping style because, the water block was added only a couple of months ago, but it's still really fun. We'll see another underwater map by the end of the speedrun made by another great concept mapper. And now we're gonna have a nice turn, so you don't really drift right there, but you can just release in order to take a sharper corner and then just yeet into the finish line. Nice.
Here we go. Again, crazy scenery. The power of custom items.
So we went underwater, and now we're gonna go over the water with reactor boost up, this time on a speedboat map. So these maps, there's not a lot of these maps, but I love them. It's super hard to master, so I will try to not fail it. It's gonna be difficult, so if I get it first try, that's gonna be amazing without any respawn. So I'm just gonna go safe. There you go, just releasing a lot. The difficult part is coming up with the other jumps, so I'm gonna full release. I'm not gonna risk it at all because I failed it last time, so there you go, I'm just full releasing and finishing the map in about 31 seconds, so that's gonna be a decent time. Nice!
This map really feels like Whisper Resort.
Yeah. I would love to organize a competition on this kind of speed bump maps. And now we're switching to a Trackmania Grand League map. So this is our third competitive map after Ocalicious and the Zerator map. And so Trackmania Grand League is the main competitive esport tournament in Trackmania, organized since 2018 by Ubisoft and Tahoe on some competitive maps. First it was organized on multi-lap maps, and now it's back to some single maps. And I had to change my camera right there because I was stuck in camera number 1. So we have 3 different cameras in Trackmania. So this one, camera number 2, which is very close to the car. Then you have camera 3, which is an internal camera that we saw in some full speed tracks. And then you have camera number 1, like a helicopter view that we see on ice maps. So we got the fragile block, and as you can see, when I hit a wall with the fragile blocks, my car is a bit wobbly, and we're gonna get a reactor boost landing with fragile blocks. So it's gonna be super tricky to get it first time, so I will try to do my best. So next season of Trackmania Grand League is underway, and it will soon start up. I was unlucky, but maybe we can finish with fragile block. We just have to pray together. Come on, come on. Yes, we can do it. Let's go. That was not an easy finish. Alright, so I was talking about sausage blocks, and now we're gonna have a map with only sausage blocks, so sausage steak. It's called a Mistletoe by Boheny and Cove, and it was made for the Christmas calendar project. So it's a community project in December where a new map is released every day and you just hunt it. And so this map was super special. You don't see a lot of maps with these curvy blocks, and it's also super tricky. So you go on the inside of a block, then outside, then inside, and you can easily jump off. So I'm gonna try my best at not falling off the track, going for a safe line right there, dropping down, doing my drift. Very nice.
Yeah, you really need smooth line to avoid airtime on this sausage block, especially at higher speed.
Exactly.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yep, you have time for one donation until I finish the track.
Lovely. We have got $15 from Iggy Zig that says, I'm super hyped to be thrilled and amazed and have a laugh with these collections of fantastic tracks. And who better to bring it to us than Rasta and his electric personality. Good luck and have fun. Vive la France.
Thank you very much, Iggy Zig. So Iggy Zig was my commentator last month, and thank you very much for that sweet donation. Now we have a backward strat where I was wiggling in order to gain speed on plastic. So this map is called back and forth because you are switching from backwards to forward. But I can't brake, so I just have to release to do the turn. There you go. And this is another concept map made by Shorty, German mapper if I remember correctly. So very, very nice mapper. We saw equality, and we're going to see another of these maps. I'm going to try to avoid these moving blocks, but we're going to talk about later on in the run that were introduced also with the summer update, summer 21 update, with a Royal game mode, which we're going to explain shortly. And now we have a risky finish. I'm going to try to get it first time. Just going to try to bounce on the plastic block, and there you go with the risky finish. Nice. And now we're going to play some snooker with Billiard Panic by Yog. It's only one lap, so basically the map is 2 laps long, but I decided to shorten it, else it would be a bit too long. So we're gonna jump into the Billiard Hall. I don't know the name in English, sorry, excuse my English. But it's a very nice map. We see some arcade station in the back with Nadio, the names of the developers. So Nadio was an independent studio that was bought by Ubisoft in 2009, and they've been making some Trackmania games ever since. So as I said, this is the latest one. Before we had the Trackmania 2 games with Trackmania Stadium, very popular game, and Canyon, which are also run at ESA last year and the year before. And we have other amazing Trackmania games that I encourage you to try. But if you're looking for the best Trackmania game right now, I would deeply encourage you to buy the standard or the club version for Trackmania 2020. So this is a subscription-based game. So you either pay 10 euros per year with a normal edition, the standard one, or you can pay 30 euros per year in order to have access to all the stuff that is available in the game. And it's way better than the free version, and it's really worth it, and then you support the developers in their work. Now we're switching to a Trackmania Formula League map, and the 4th season of Trackmania Formula League just started right now. They are on the way on their first map. So this is Formula 1, but in Trackmania with a custom server plugin. But I can't use the plugin in solo mode. So basically you have some tire and fuel management, and the less you have the more your tires are used, the less you can steer, and you have a lot of different techniques. So either you go for like 3 or 4 pit stops, or maybe 5, and you lose a lot of time, of course, with the pit stops. I'm going to show you what the pit stop looks like on this map, and I really encourage you to watch the season of Trackmania Formula League. There's going to be a new map every Sunday at 3 PM. Everybody's discovering the map at the same time. So they might be discovering the map right now, or maybe they just started the race, and I should drive just below 130 kilometers per hour. I was a bit too fast, so normally I would have like a 10-second penalty. Then I can change my tires, get some fuel, and just restart for some other laps. And generally, Trackmania Formula League race is about 50 laps. There you go.
And yeah, it's one of the most popular league in Trackmania.
Yeah, exactly,
It's
and this is the first time that you have a cash prize for this league, because before there was no cash prize, and you had still a lot of people playing the event. And now we're moving on to a map made by Nadio for their seasonal campaign. So for the first time in Trackmania history, you don't have definitive solo campaigns, but seasonal ones that get updated every 3 months with 25 new tracks, which are used for matchmaking, for example, which is done in a 3 versus 3 format, in team format. And this is a map that was recreated from BO7, a map from Trackmania Nations Forever, but they modified the map a little bit in order to get these sweet loops with the water, and I did not do the grass slide because it was a bit difficult, but there's going to be another track where we're going to do a glitch called the bug slide or grass slide. And now we're switching to Azure Chimera by Nightworth and Ellipse, one of the most talented duo of mappers. I'm going to switch to camera 1 because I'm more used to that. This is a very recent map with music made especially for this map, so very nice atmosphere inspired by oh, I don't remember the name, so I'm gonna try to remember the name of the game, but it was inspired by. And you see these beautiful trees in the background, and as I said, you want to look for your gears to try to keep the 4th gear and maybe shift to a 5th gear if you can. So you switch to 5th gear with speeds of about 320 kilometers per hour. Up. There you go, that was a big bonk.
Yeah, and when you're not on asphalt like that, the acceleration of the car is slower, so when you get such a bump, it's harder to recover from it.
There you go. And now we are off to the final map of the first campaign called the Mini Golf. And yep,
this track is amazing.
This is Mini Golf in Trackmania. So basically, when I cross the red line, I have no steering, so I can only accelerate and brake, and then I have no other control on my car. This is ice, so this is why my car is doing some 360s. I'm gonna try to line up right there. So I practice this map so much that I currently hold the world record on this one by about 20 seconds, but I encourage everyone to play the map and to try to get a sub 2 minute because it was proven to be doable, and there you go. I got unlucky right there, but maybe I'll be able to finish nice and jump into the hole. The textures are a bit different on this map. Now we have some safe strats on most of the holes, but some of them are a bit tricky. And this is a good time to talk about a track of the day and cup of the day in further details. So as I said, it's a competition organized by Nadio on some community maps. So every day they select a great community map. You discover the map at 7 PM European time. And you have 15 minutes to set the fastest time on the map, and then you are seeded depending on the time that you did in divisions of 64 players. And then you have a knockout match, and your goal is to finish first and to never finish last on a round. And it's a super exciting competition. You have so many people watching it live on Twitch. So I really encourage you to watch that. But if you can't make it at 7 PM European time because you are from USA or from Asia, you have some reruns with less people at 3 AM European time and 11 AM European time, so you can do the conversion if you need to in order to participate in Cup of the Day. And you will need the standard access, the one at 10 euros per year, in order to participate in Cup of the Day and Track of the Day. So Track of the Day, it's basically the track that you are playing on for Cup of the Day, and you have 24 hours to set the fastest time on the track.
And Cup of the Day itself is inspired by a former community event that was the True Talent Cup.
Yep.
And yeah, that was my favorite event. And yeah, even though this event is gone, I'm glad there's an official one now that carries over the legacy of TTC.
I'm getting a bit unlucky, maybe I'm not braking enough. I'm gonna try to full brake right there. Nope, alright.
And yeah, this map also uses the fact that you can use custom cameras for your map and force the player into some camera. Like for example, Rasta right now cannot change the view, he's forced to play like that. And yeah, that's a tool you have in the map editor.
Nice! We got it, finally! Right, number 14 is very easy. It's not going to be a sub 3 minute, but still going to be a decent time. So world record is a 2:17, but as I said, you can get below 2 minutes with a perfect run, but I don't think anybody is able to do that. That's just not possible. You have some risky strats and you can't get them consistently. I got this one first try, super good. It's super tight. And on number 17 and 18 will probably be the most RNG ones. I will just pray to get it first time. And we might finish just above 3 minutes. And switch to the second command. Come on. Nice. So we definitely have some weird textures on the game, so that's really weird. It's very dark on some tracks, and we are switching to the second campaign with Akita 4 Koyo by Prof 10, very talented mapper. Is making some speed tech maps, so it's like tech, but you go super fast, and this might be a track used in the future for Track of the Day because it was released just last week. So I'm gonna try my best because I didn't have much time to practice the map. Hopefully I can get a run in about 51 or 52 seconds. And as you can see, I'm initiating the drift by just slightly pressing the brake button. But if you want to get a sharper turn, you just hold the brake button like so. And then we think switching on to this part, I just got hit. I just hit the wall, and so in this game you have an acceleration penalty when you hit a wall, because before you could just hit a wall and go faster than if you were drifting. So this was fixed by the developers, but sadly sometimes you go super close to a wall and you instantly lose a ton of speed. So that's not a feature that is appreciated by the community. And now we're coming on to the end of this first track of the second campaign in 52 seconds. There you go. Nice. Alright, next map will be Onion by Mania Master. He's making a lot of custom maps with some nice ideas, and this is a multi-lap map, but for every lap you have a different route. So this is the route for the first lap, and then we're gonna have some different route for second and third lap. Just going very slowly, making sure that I don't crash. Starting an auto slide right there by landing slightly sideways, and I also braked a little bit in order to get a better angle for the turn. And then we will go to third lap. Nice. So we have, oh, we don't have any donations really yet. So we're going to Oasis by Nice now. So this map is like a Mario Kart map, as you could say, with some dirt textures. It was made by Nice, very talented mapper. And you also want to watch out for your gears. There you go. So this is a very important gear shift, so I'm going to try to steer as minimally as possible in order to shift to 5th gear. There you go. Go on the outside, not too much, because you don't want to fall off. And then just be very gentle with the steering. Just like so. And the checkpoints are inspired by the Trackmania Turbo checkpoints, which I'm going to talk about later. So it's a game that was released in 2016, and the game was spent the most time playing online. And it had probably the best solo campaign of all the Trackmania games. And now we're moving to Icy Duster 2. So yes, this is Duster 2 from Counter-Strike, but it's icy. So I'm gonna try to initiate a slide and do a 360. If I can get it first right, it would be amazing. Yep, not the perfect 360, but still a 360. That's gonna be a second one at the very end of the map. So I think it's like very close to the original Counter-Strike map. And you have to be super careful on the slide. So this is a map made by Alpha Wing with all the soldiers. And now we'll have the second 360. I'm going to try to get it first try because the ending is not that easy. Preparing for the end. Yep, losing quite a lot of time. Maybe I can make the jump. Oh. And yeah, we made it. Nice. Alright, next map will be Eisen by Also Guinea Pig, and it's a plastic map, so basically a tech map where the drifts are initiated by plastic, because plastic is slippery, and if you just steer a little bit, you can initiate a slide, which we will see later. And this was one of my best performances in Track of the Day, but it was ages ago, so I don't really remember the map that much, but I'm gonna try my best right there in order to initiate my slide with this plastic bug, just like so. I'm still braking a little bit in order to get a sharper drifting angle. Same here. Then bouncing on the water, avoiding steering right there, else I will just yeet into the wall. Nicely done. Another drift right there. I could go for a triangle, but I did not go for it because there was an obstacle. And we're gonna finish this map by Also Guinea Pig, also very, very talented mapper. So shout out to all of the mappers represented in this showcase and to all the other mappers because they really make the community alive. We play so much on their maps, and without them, Trackmania would not exist. And now we're switching to Vertigo. It's a map made for the first of the month Cup of the Day, so it's a LOL map. And this is a map with cycles. I'm going to try my best in order to get some decent cycles right there. So I'm going to try to go super fast. So this is not the best cycle, but I will try to get a decent one at least. Try to get some decent speed right there. I hit a bit. Very nicely done. That was unfortunate. So we're going to respawn for that, but maybe second try will be a charm. Yep. And I don't remember the timing of the blocks now because it's not my usual setup, but I'll do my best. Oh, we got a bounce on the block and I'm stuck. Oh, wait. Nice. Perfect. I'm gonna try to finish in maybe under a minute, but I don't think so. I'm gonna wait, go for this block. Same. Oh, I didn't see that block. It was so dark. So I guess I'm gonna have to wait a little bit. So this is why this map, the leaderboard is very spread apart, because if you don't get one cycle, then you get a time that is not that good. So I'm gonna try to finish. It's not easy because you are climbing a vertical wall, and then the finish, there you go. So not a decent time as you could see, but I did my best.
Magnet really was the best addition of Trackmania Turbo to the game.
The magnets?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because in Trackmania Turbo you had a new environment, so with a new car, it was called Lagoon, and you had these roller coaster maps, which we will not showcase because it's not the same car. This is the stadium car. It's a Formula 1 car, and I didn't say this, but the inputs we use in Trackmania, you have accelerate, brake, turn left, and turn right. You don't have any nitro. You can get boosters, but these are blocks that you place on the map. It's not like a custom button that you press to get a boost.
The game crashed.
We got a game crash. Very nice. We're gonna have to restart the game. Yay! I was looking towards a game crash because if you play too many maps, too many different maps at the same time, then your game could crash, or you could just not load a map. So that was unfortunate.
Whilst we're waiting for the game to restart, shall I talk about one of our bid incentives? Right, we have Prey 2017 with the glitch exhibition. Henny will showcase a few more glitches that didn't make it into the initial run. That is at a $1,000 goal. We're currently at $10. I'd love to see a nice little $5 hype train towards pushing that incentive.
Absolutely. So we're switching to the 7th map called Space Time, and I hope this time the map will load. We're gonna cross fingers. We've got a mod for this. So Space Time map. I'm gonna download the mod because else the map might not look that good. And so this map is also using the reactor block. The reactor blocks. It was made also by Stuntman, very talented mapper, for the MTC competition for mappers in Trackmania. There you go. You see all the nice scenery. We're gonna switch to Cam 2, like so, because else if we are in Cam 1, you won't see much on the track. So this is a full speed map, so you go super fast, and you can see I'm driving in space with this reactor boost block, and I will try to get it first try. So this map is not easy at all. It was not selected for Cup of the Day, but this should definitely become a Cup of the Day map in the future. I'm gonna try to get the jump. Yep, I cleared it. That was a close call, but we did it. And now we're coming to the end of this space-related track with the boosters, trying to do some speed drift, but not a map that was really made for speed drift, like the map that I showed at the beginning of the run. And that should be a decent time on the map, I guess. If I don't mess up the ending, come on. There you go, nice.
I guess this map is a bit difficult for Cup of the Day. You only have 15 minutes to train, and it's aimed for everyone. So.
And now we're going to Ancient Times with Babylon by Evarios and Nize, a speed tech map with some Babylonian landscape, some gardens, so a lot of flowers, very nice landscape. The lines are a bit tricky, so this might be why this map was not selected in Cup of the Day. So for Cup of the Day, the selection process is made by a member of Nadir called Tona. So Welcome, of course, to the Nadeo team. I hope you enjoy these community maps, and I hope that everyone is enjoying all these community maps, which you will be able to find in my club at the end of the run, and that should have released right there. So you could play the maps, but you will need the standard edition. You won't be able to play the maps if you have the free version of the game. And there's also going to be a speedrunning category created with this map pack if you want to compete against others on these 50 maps.
Tahoe himself was a decent mapper in Trackmania, made many competitive tracks.
And he's also a very decent player.
Yeah.
And now this is a Royal map. So Royal is a game mode that was introduced with Trackmania 2020 on the Summer 2021 update. So these are obstacle maps with 5 different sections. This one was done by Nightwolf with some nice custom music. And we will have a grass slide right there, so I will press 3 buttons at the same time. And nope, didn't work first time. Maybe second try it will work. So first section is the white section. It's usually a super easy section. And then you get green, blue, etc. And the last section usually super hard, but you go. This was not the best grass slide, but we'll have a grass slide map at the end of the speedrun that is gonna look fantastic. So the blue section is strangely one of the easiest one. And on red section we'll have the moving blocks that were introduced for the Royal game mode. So this is a game mode that you play in a team format, so 3 versus 3 team format, where you play these maps and you need to finish as many sections as possible. I'm not a huge fan of this game mode because I'm not that good on... And there you go, I just died. I just got crushed by the blocks. I tried to go for a risky way. I will try to play it safe this time. So as I said, these moving blocks were introduced for this update. Play it safe right there. This should do the job. Yep, oh, that was a close call. Another grass slide right there, short one. And then black section is going to be by far the hardest one. So we have watery wheels, so we have to brake a lot because we're losing all our achievements to the track. So if I do this first try, it's going to be good. Maybe I can finish under 2 minutes. I doubt it, but maybe if we are fast enough.
This track also featuring custom music. It's not the first one of the map pack, but we didn't mention it.
Come on. Come on.
Come on.
Come on. No, that's dead. I gotta restart. We got unlucky. I told you that this part was difficult. And we got cheated. Okay, so we're gonna restart this session a third time.
Do we have time for a donation?
Absolutely.
Lovely. We've got $10 from Miss. That says, love seeing all these amazing tracks. Thank you so much, Miss, for the $10.
And thank you very much. I think this is Miss from the OpenPlanet team. So OpenPlanet is a community project with a lot of plugins, as like for the input and other stuff. So thank you very much, Miss, for all your important work for the Trackmania community. So shout out to Miss and all the people working for Trackmania Formula League and all the other community projects.
Yeah, you're using actually OpenPlanet right now with
I am.
The overlay and the speed. This is something that is not in the normal overlay of the game. What you see on the bottom right of your screen.
And you also see the name of the map with the mapper on the top left. Sometimes not the original name of the mapper. So this map, the texture, it's a bit buggy, but it's an underwater map made by Shorty, like a concept mapper. He loves making this kind of unusual maps. So this was Cup of the Day very recently, and it was the first full underwater, almost fully underwater Cup of the Day, and I just lost a ton of speed right there. And as you can see, when you don't have a booster underwater, you go super slow. Like very, very, very slow, not even above 100 kilometers per hour. So I'm gonna try to get the checkpoint right there and get a decent ending. Maybe a sub 1 minute run, and nope, I failed this. Did not get any speed. I think I slide out a bit. I'm gonna try to get some nice speed right there. Nice. All right, we made it, and we lost quite a ton of speed, but we're good for this turn. And now we're gonna have a turnaround on plastic. Like so. I'm gonna switch the camera maybe. Nope, not needed. And then the finish with a dragon. So this is a reference to another map that was made about a year ago for Track of the Day. And I'm gonna try to get the finish because sometimes you don't get the finish. Because you have a hitbox for the finish and you don't see the hitbox on these kind of maps, so it's tricky. So we are downloading a mod right there called Classic Stadium. because next map will be using the textures from Trackmania Stadium, a game released in 2013 and a very popular game. This is the game on which the first Trackmania, the Rater Trackmania Cups were organized, and this is Retro Drift with urban landscape and a tech map.
It's so nice to see again this ManiaPlanet 3 borders on the side. I feel back in 2015.
Yeah, so ManiaPlanet was like the launcher used for this Trackmania 2 game. So first you had Trackmania Canyon in 2011, then Trackmania Stadium and Trackmania Valley in 2013, and finally you had Trackmania Lagoon in 2017. Right, next map will be Rasta Rocket. Nice map for someone named Rastats by Symptom, and this is a bobsleigh map. So Symptom is a very talented ice mapper, and we're gonna play like if we were the Jamaican team during the Winter Olympics. So fun fact, my skin on Trackmania Stadium was a Jamaican bobsleigh, but we can't have this kind of custom 3D skin on Trackmania 2020 if I remember correctly, so I'm very sad to not be able to use my bobsleigh skin because it looked amazing. We are losing a lot of speed driver because we are only in 4th gear. Normally you are in 5th gear, but I lost quite a bit of speed on the uphill. I'm going to try to go for the risky finish. We have a booster if you are not fast enough.
Jamaica, who now always send one bobsleigh team in the actual Winter Olympics. They even have one
and we got it! Nice!
for this year.
That was a short call, but we managed to get it. Alright, this is going to be another concept map by Mania Master called Slice of Life V2, and it's a 1 block wide map. So as you can see, even with some very limited borders on the map, you can do some amazing stuff with the custom map editor. You can blend some blocks together, which is called mixed mapping, as you can see. So we have way more mapping options on Trackmania 2020, and this is why the community maps on Trackmania 2020 are so good. I mean, I had a look at 2000 maps for this speedrun, and there were like probably more than 300 amazing maps. I tried to do a slide right there, sadly did not work out because I was sliding a bit too much. And we'll be in the ice section very shortly with the reset block. So you have a lot of different effects blocks in Trackmania. So you have a free wheel to cut your engine, and then you can have a reset to reset all the effects, or as we saw before, you can also impeach the runner from braking, like a full speed mode. And now we're moving to the full vanilla map made by Sephiron, a very talented mapper. So this is a speed tech map with only vanilla blocks in the scenery for a nice atmosphere and a reactor block start. So you don't need to put some 3D blocks in your scenery to make amazing maps, I mean beautiful maps, because there are some amazing maps with no scenery, like the competitive maps, because you want the map to not be laggy at all. So this is why you remove most of the scenery, as we saw on Ocalicious before in the speedrun. And there are some turns where I will not be drifting, because sometimes it is faster to just release and do the turn like on a NASCAR map, like right there, just release, not slide out. As you see, I don't see any skid marks, so this is why and this shows that I was not drifting. Same here, and then go straight into the finish line with the reactor boost. Right, now it's going to be a backwards map, so full backwards map. We saw a backward and forward map, and this is going to be a full backwards map with a very important mechanic. It's similar to the speed slide mechanic in full speed, so you want to wiggle your car in order to gain some speed, and this map is insanely difficult, and I really mean it. There you go. That's a nice crash. I'm going to try to get it second time and get the decent speed, so you can get so fast. You can go so fast on this map. But if you just miss a gear, then you're going to lose probably 2 to 3 seconds. So I'm going to try to get some decent speed right there, wiggle a little bit, go on the outside of the turn, get some more speed, and then avoid the safe way and go for the risky way instead. I'm going to climb right there. Yep, we got it. We got a bounce, so decent speed. And maybe we'll finish in close to 50 seconds with a respawn, so that's very decent on this map. At least I did not go for the safe way, and then we go for the risky finish. There you go. Alright, this map is a Pac-Man and this is a Shitfest map. So Shitfest is a weekly competition where you have some very weird maps, and on this map we have a custom camera and you are driving in a Pac-Man world. So you need to avoid the ghost, else you would have to respawn. And you will see that we'll be able to teleport because you can have some linked checkpoints, as we saw on the mini golf map. You can teleport from one CP to another right there. I mean, it's the same checkpoint, but you just teleport from one side to another. And then we're gonna finish this Shitfest map. So Shitfest is organized every Monday or at around 8 PM. It's not all year round, but I think it's still ongoing. So you can join, of course, and play these very silly maps. It's one of the least silly maps, but you have some completely insane maps in the Shitfest every time.
This was actually way too beautiful for this competition. Usually they just try to make the most insane mess possible.
And now we have Pirate Slide. So this is a map that is using the bug slide. So we'll be accelerating, releasing and turning at the same time in order to initiate what is called the bug slides. I'm going to try my best to get all 4 in a single run. So first one,
nice one.
Very nice exit speed. Then we're gonna aim for the second one. So this map was made by Prof10, and now, I mean, a very talented mapper. We saw maybe 3 or 4 of these maps in the speedrun already. Third one is the most difficult one, so I'm gonna try to get a decent setup for it. Okay, that was not the best setup, but at least that was safe, and we're not accelerating super fast. You can go insanely fast. On this map, you can land directly on the booster with a very good grass slide. And then the final one, maybe the most impressive one. I think the third one is the most impressive one because it's much harder to do. But this one is also very nice, very long, and finishing in 56 seconds. So next one will be a very recent map with a safe way and a hard way. It's a full speed map made by Bart Simpson, and this was a track of the day about 3 or 4 days ago. And I really like the map, so this is why I decided to include it in the speedrun. And I will just try to go for a risky way and do some speed slides. Speed drift, sorry. So I do the jump right there. Nicely done. And then I will prepare for the second hard way. So I think we have like 4 or 5 different hard ways. So this is the second one. We got it first try, amazing. Ooh. That was a save. Doing the speed drift to get some speed. So you can only do the speed drift at speed of above 400 kilometers per hour or more. And you can just do them by wiggling your car. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have went straight ahead. I wanted to do some nice speed slide, but that was not the best thing to do. And I will go for the risky finish now. And if I miss it, I will lose like probably 15 seconds because the last checkpoint is super far away. So I'm gonna try to aim for the finish, and we get it. Nice.
Well, at least you got flying respawn in this game. In full speed, it's pretty appreciated otherwise. Yeah,
because on the previous Trackmania game, when you were respawning at the checkpoint with 0 km per hour. So that was really bad. And now you can respawn with the lines you had before hitting the checkpoint. And now we're switching to another grass map called Casino with some custom textures. So I'm going to brake right there in order to do the corner. So very nice scenery, as you can see, with the red carpet and all the items that you would find in a casino. Trying to keep the gear on this grass map. Same here. That was not the perfect landing. In third gear, I'm going to try to go back to fourth gear. If possible, then we're going to go through the staff entrance and nicely finish the map in fourth gear with a drift. There you go. 47, that's decent. Alright, now we have Suburbia 2, a map made by SimplyNick and HTMH, and HTMH is probably the most known scenery mapper in Trackmania. He's a 3D artist in real life, and he made these maps and a lot of other amazing maps. And SimplyNick made the route. SimplyNick is an Australian Trackmania player and streamer, and this is set in a child's bedroom. So we are driving on the wall right there with the reactor boost down, going on the desk with the computer on the left, the keyboard on the right. Now we have the Hot Wheels section with some loopings, some Legos, and a lot of stuff that you would find in a child's bedroom.
HTMH is a really talented guy. The amount of maps he made with insane sceneries is absolutely insane.
Exactly.
But I think he stepped away from mapping for this year, but yeah, that's really unfortunate because he really made some amazing stuff.
Yeah, he has decided to step out from mapping because he has been doing so many maps in the past 2 years. But we still have some very talented mappers with Prof10, with Nightwolf, with Ellipse, and a lot of other names. So this is Ant Jalu, dirt map set in an Egyptian landscape, and also with Egyptian custom music. So we're gonna try to keep our gears as before, go on the outside of the road in order to steer as minimally as possible. Same here. Try to get that fifth gear. I don't think we are fast enough, and we switch back to third gear, so we lost quite a bit of time. But we're good as long as we don't crash. We go on the outside, try to get back on fourth gear. So this is very important to play with sound on these kind of maps, so you can hear when you are shifting gears. You can play without the sound, but it's much easier if you have a sound on. And as we say in the French community, you listen to the gears. And now I think we're off to the last 5 maps of the speedrun, and we're gonna have some other amazing maps. We have a map that is an RPG map using some assets from a very well-known speedrunning game. Now we're playing Universe Velocity by Pavlos. It's a stunt full speed map. And you will see me doing some front flip and back flip, but this map is very tricky. One single mistake and I might have to restart the map. So I will try to get it first time, and I will try to focus in the meantime. So we are using the Trackmania Turbo assets with the signs, and I will enter full focus mode for the spins and the front flips.
Yeah, Trackmania Turbo, who was actually played in ESA a few years back. In ESA Summer 2019, I think it was?
Yep. So we have the first ice 180, then second one is also tricky. So this is the very difficult part of the map. Okay, we got it, nice. Double front flip, and then we just need to go to the ending. So we cross the most difficult section, but we can still fail some parts of the map, so we gotta stay careful. This map is like super long. It's almost 2 minutes long. And definitely one of the hardest maps of the speedrun. We're driving backwards. So steering is inverted, but it's inverted twice. So this is why I'm steering to the right to go to the right. Normally when you drive backward, we saw it on the backwards map. In order to go to the left, you steer to the right, which is kind of normal, like on a normal car. And then it's a symmetrical route. You can either go to the left or to the right. It doesn't matter. It's exactly the same blocks, but just symmetrical. And then we'll have the last couple flips. So preparing for the second to last front flip. Nice, and then the ending of the map. I might finish in about 1:47, which is a very, very decent time. And I think that's PB on the map. Very nice.
Nice one.
And now we're switching to the last 3 maps with Mars Plumus by Prof10. One of my favorite maps, one of the maps that I hunted the most. This was a track of the day, and I played this map for so long. I really love the aesthetics of the map with the Martian scenery. It's like a Martian colony, and it's a speed tech map with some nice drifts. And this is one of the maps where I did one of my best performance in Cup of the Day. I'm not really good at learning maps super fast, so I don't usually do well in Cup of the Day, but on this map I already knew it, and I was able to get a decent score. It's gonna try to go for some nice lines, not hit any corners. We're good so far, and we will switch after that to the RPG map, which is going to be, I think it's the longest map of the speedrun, and I will try to get it in one try. So next map will be Escape from Minecraft, if I remember correctly. Yep, by Robbie Loren. RPG map with some Minecraft assets. So I'm going to switch to camera 1. We're going to double respawn. So first, like in a Minecraft speedrun, you have to get some wood. So there's only one tree that is accessible to the car. And so you have a lot of missions on this map. So RPG maps are usually maps where you have to find your way around the map. You don't have any GPS. On most maps that are used for Track of the Day, you have a GPS in order to show beginners which route to take and which lines to take on the map. So this is the first RNG section. You're climbing on the house. Gonna try to get some decent speed right there. Yep, we did it first try, amazing. We're going through the crafting table, respawning, and we're gonna re-enter the same house. So we have two different ways. This is the fastest one. So we're gonna climb the ladder and then go on the other side of this house. I'm not very fast. I'm gonna have to go fully to the left. Yep, we did it, come on. Maybe I can get the CP in less than 1 minute. Alright, this is a really good pace on the map. But the ending is like super RNG. I failed it 4 times last time I did this map in a speedrun. So if I get it first right, it's gonna be amazing. And this is basically the last map where I have to drive, because you will see next map, it's gonna be a very different map compared to all the maps we've seen so far. Alright, so I'm preparing, trying to get some speed because we have an engine off block, so I don't want to hit any wall. This is Mon Castillo moment. There you go, nice. Oh, that's a super decent time. Might be a sub 2 minute. World record is a 154, might be the 157. I just hope to get the finish first try. We are on ice right now. Preparing for the finish of this map, and then we'll have our last map of the speedrun. Come on. Yes, let's go! We're gonna get a clean landing, and this might be a sub 2 minute run, maybe. 54, 55, 56, yeah, 57, 58, 59. Yeah, we did it!
Nice.
Let's go! And we have the last map of the speedrun. It's gonna be Wingardium Leviosa by La Bomba, and it's a press nothing map, so I'm just gonna drop the controller, hands off the controller, and we're gonna drive this map. So this is a very well calculated map, using all the physics of the car, but every time there's a major physics update, the maps are broken. So this map has been playable for about 7 or 8 months, so this might be a record on this game. So very nice map. There's not a lot of press forward maps on Trackmania 2020 due to the regular update. I hope you liked this Trackmania community maps showcase with some of the most amazing maps made by our dear community members. And I would like to say thank you for ESA for selecting me for the 3rd time and the first time on site for a Trackmania run. This was my first run at ESA with custom maps. And I also want to thank the Trackmania developers, so Nadio, Zerator, and all the community members. Darklink, who's helping me moderating Trackmania. And in the end, we're going to do a trick in order to save about 0.05 of a second. So it's a press nothing map, but if you want to get world record, you need to do some specific inputs at the very end, which I'm going to do on keyboard. So we're going to try to get it. So you steer to the left, and then to the right, and normally this should be faster than normal way, and this is time. So normal time is a 1:19.190. This is a 1:65, and world record is about a 0:907. And yeah, I hope you like the run. I do. I've been speedrunning Trackmania for 5 years. I've been moderating the community ever since, and it's so nice to see Trackmania at a speedrunning marathon. There's not a lot of Trackmania runs, not a lot of people doing some Trackmania speedruns competitively. So you can try out the game. As I said, you have a free version. And then if you really like the game and you want to play Track of the Day, Cup of the Day, or all the custom maps, you can decide to buy the standard version or the club version at 30 euros per year. And standard is at 10 euros, so that's not that much. That's a really fun game. You also have Trackmania Turbo, super fun game if you want to play with friends, because you can control the car with 2 people. You have a double driver mode, and that's a super nice mode. So if you want a family Trackmania game, I would suggest Trackmania Turbo. But otherwise, I suggest, of course, a Trackmania 2020. So yeah, thank you very much, and good luck to all the other runners, and have a nice week watching these runs on site from Malmö in Sweden. It was Rastats. Goodbye.